Andrea has violated her DBO. She is not allowed to speak to me or about me for any reason. Now, the trolls already knew this. The trolls knew this. Well, G-Bon, how did the trolls know? Because I told them. I said, you can't let her do a live hangout. She will violate her DBO. You know what? I got fucking ignored. And so now I've already contacted the sheriff, and I will be contacting the courthouse tomorrow. And she's going to jail. I have no choice. She violated the DBO. I have no choice. And it's not like the trolls didn't know. I told them well in advance. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. She'll be violating her DBO. Well, I got fucking ignored, didn't I? So guess what? Now she goes to jail. But there is a plus side to this, folks. There's a plus side to this. Because once she gets into jail, the trolls won't be able to touch her. They won't be able to manipulate her. They won't be able to fuck with her. She can sit in jail and hopefully get her head screwed on straight and, stop with all this slander and shit and all this lying and shit. And, hopefully she'll get better. Because the trolls, folks, is the ones that keeps manipulating her. They've been talking to her, like I said, they've been talking to her on Facebook behind the scenes for years. Ain't that right, Mr. David Blount? Yeah, it is. Mr. David Blount admitted in a live hangout on Live that, I manipulated your wife. Yeah, I did. I'm proud of it. Dumbass. That's going to look real good in court for me there, Mr. Blount. But yeah, so they've been manipulating Andrea for years and years and years, and now they're actually giving her money to make more hate videos. That is, I don't know what is that. Is it bribery or extortion or I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look, but it's something along those lines. When you're paying somebody to break the law, okay, which is basically what they're doing. They're paying Andrea to slander me, okay? Since we're on the subject, did I beat my kids with a belt? No. Well, G-Von, how do I know? Because I'd be in jail, dumbass. Belts leave welts, okay? There would have been welts. If I'd have used a belt on my kids, there would have been welts all over their body. CPS would have seen that shit, and my kids would have never, ever come back to me, ever. Okay, so did I beat my kids with a belt? No. Did I get Andrea to beat the kids with a belt? No. Because why? Because CPS would have took the fucking kids. Morons, idiots, imbeciles. CPS would have took the kids and kept them. I would have never got my kids back if I had used a belt. Never. All right, number 2. Did I rape my wife? No. In fact, my wife would say, and I quote, I'm ready for round 2. Yes, even in the early mornings. In fact, it was the early mornings that she was one that said she wanted. She said, you want it at night or in the morning? I said, in the morning. She's like, okay. All right. So did I rape my wife? No. No, I did not. I have no reason to. I was getting plenty. She was getting plenty. Well, she wasn't. Apparently, she wasn't getting plenty because she's back there cybersexing every fucking day with a bunch of strange men. So apparently, she wasn't getting enough. But anyway, was I getting enough? Yes, I was getting plenty. Twice a day sometimes. So I was getting plenty. So, yeah. Oh, and that reminds me. Well, you never pay attention to her. You never took her anywhere. You never did. Yeah, what a fucking lie. She went everywhere she wanted to go. Anywhere she wanted to go. And this bullshit that she wanted to go back to Alabama. My mother approached her with a check in her hand. Said, here's a check. Go back to Alabama. She refused. She refused. Okay, so this bullshit that she didn't want to stay here and she wanted to go back to Alabama. Well, that's a fucking lie, too. Because if that was true, my mom would have been dancing a jig. Because she had finally got rid of Andrea. Andrea didn't want to go back to Alabama. Andrea wanted to stay here with me. Because at the time, Andrea actually loved me. Now, of course, now that all this bullshit is in her head from the trolls, she don't know whether she loves me or not. And she even said so. All right. She is so confused. The trolls have so fucked her mind up that she doesn't even know whether she loves her husband or not. Okay, her ex-husband now, unfortunately. I mean, she can't even tell you that. Okay, she can't tell anything. When she went to Alabama, she literally saw demons hanging from the chandeliers. She saw a Chihuahua become a Saint Bernard and try to rape her. She said, her words. She said a little teacup Chihuahua became a Saint Bernard and tried to rape her. And this was eyewitnessed by several people. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. You know, she's one messed up. The trolls have really done a number. They have literally destroyed her concept of self. Okay, everybody has a concept of self within their mind. Okay, when that concept of self is destroyed, you're pretty much susceptible to anything at that point. All right, so they've destroyed her concept of self. It does not exist. There is no Andrea in her head, okay? You can't go inside, like I tried to do, you can't go inside her head and pull the real Andrea out because there is no real Andrea left. They've utterly and completely destroyed her concept of self. It's gone. It's gone. So, she will be dependent on the place where she's at for a long, long time. Generations, it's called. She'll be there for a long, long time with all the other crazies. Now, unlike the trolls, I've actually toured this facility. It is a very nice facility. The people are very nice that work there. I've talked to the doctors. I talked to the nurses. I talked to the staff. It's a wonderful place. And yes, even the mental ward where Andrea's at is a very nice facility. It's a lot nicer than I expected it to be. Let's put it that way. But this idea that she's not in a mental ward, that she's not surrounded by other crazy people, I'm sorry, that's a total fucking lie. She can claim that all day long, but that's a total lie. I was at the building. I've been there. I talked with the staff, talked with the doctors, talked with the nurses, took a tour through the building. Very nice facility. But when she said she wasn't in a mental ward, she lied, because she is. And everybody in her wing is a mental patient. And since we're on the subject, is Andrea a mental patient? Yes. She's been diagnosed with ADHD, schizophrenia, bipolar, and like 5 other ailments. Folks, she takes 15 medicines a day. 15 different medicines a day. Oh, and I think she mentioned something that I wasn't giving her a medicine. That's a fucking lie. That's a total fucking lie. In fact, I've still got her medicine on the top of my fridge. It's still right there, waiting for her to come home. But of course, she never came home. Instead, she decided she would get on the internet and slander the only person that ever really loved her. I'm the only person that ever really loved her. All other men, all the other men she had been with, all they were after was a piece of ass. I am the only man that loved her. Well, Jevon, how can you prove that? Because I married her, dumbass. None of these other men married her. They got a piece of ass off of her and they moved on. They didn't want to keep her. They didn't want to help her. They didn't want her to get better. They got their piece of ass and they moved on. And this man she's with now, why is he with her? He's with her to get a piece of ass, get what money he can out of her, and then he'll be gone too. The previous man she had bilked Andrea's mom out of $10,000. $10,000. Her previous boyfriend bilked Andrea's mom out of that money. And I'm like, Andrew, that money would have went for you a nice place to live. But, oh well. You know, see, when I'm no longer her husband, she's at the mercy of tricksters, liars, the trolls, whoever comes along. She's at their mercy because I cannot protect her. I'm no longer her husband. I can't protect her anymore. Sorry. And now that she's broke the law, I have to throw her in jail because if I don't throw her in jail, I got to apologize to all the other people I threw in jail. When somebody breaks the law, I have to throw them in jail. I don't have a choice. And the trolls knew that she would be violating her DBO. They knew it. They knew she would. But they don't care. In fact, they even laughed at me when I told them. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. She'll be violating her DBO. Well, I got ignored, didn't I? So guess what? I called the fucking sheriff's office, and tomorrow it's too late now, it's 6 p.m., but tomorrow I'll be calling the courthouse. Sorry about your luck. You know, I told them, don't do it, because I'm duty bound to report a crime. I have to. I don't have a choice in the matter. So anyways, enough said about that. The point is that they're abusing a mental patient. Now, oh, that reminds me. I went and looked up UK law, all right, when it concerns mental patients. And I found something very interesting in the PDF. And if I remember to, I'll give you the link to the PDF. But in the PDF, it said that all things concerning a mental patient are a criminal act. Criminal, not civil. Criminal. Okay, so when these guys are manipulating Andrea and her a mental patient, they are literally committing a crime. It's not a civil action. It's an actual crime, which means these motherfuckers, every one of them, go to jail. Go to jail for real. Real jail. Okay, are we all clear on that? It is a crime. It is a criminal act to abuse a mental patient. It is not a civil action. It is a crime. If you are abusing or manipulating or controlling a mental patient, you are committing an actual crime. You will go to jail. So, I am going to forward these YouTube videos to Scotland Yard, Interpol, and anybody else in the UK. I've already contacted Crime Stoppers in the UK. And I will be contacting every fucking agency in the UK that I can that will listen. And I will be giving them copies of the links to the Hangouts, to the videos. All right, manipulation and coercion of a mental patient is a crime in the United Kingdom. And you three asswipes are going to prison for it. Hopefully for a very, very long time. Okay, so that's the end of that.